we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Oh my God. Good morning, everyone. I have to start by saying that yesterday afternoon's attempt to broadcast my live music appreciation presentation has quickly become the most chaotic, most botched, most everything went wrong experience in my live streaming career. It was dreadful. It was just dreadful. I need to start by acknowledging that and by letting you know that it was a valuable learning experience, that I would be more than happy to get into the details at the end of the broadcast. If anybody's curious, just write the word details in your comment and I'll be happy to give you a blow by blow of what went on. But most importantly, I am most aware that some of you actually paid for the privilege, and I owe you a big apology. I have taken the necessary measures to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And the good thing is that I am now in the process of rebuilding the presentation from scratch. It will be ready in a couple of days, and I will offer it to all members and supporters of Coffee and Headlines free of charge as an apology, because, you know, you deserve that. And I am very, very sorry. Some things were within my control, others were not. And I see that some of you are curious, and I'll be happy to give you the blow-by-blow after we go through our usual broadcast today. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing great. Today is Children's Day in Mexico. We have to talk about that and talk about how that came about. We have other news about all kinds of critters that are allegedly swimming around the ocean and preventing beachgoers from going into the ocean, or at least doing it carefully. We have to talk about that. We have to fill in some of the blanks that we couldn't fill in yesterday because we were so concerned about important weekend news. And I did want to bring you up to speed on Lake Chapala. I do want to talk about a phenomenal dinner that we enjoyed at Oculto over the weekend. And what else? Well, we'll see what else shows up. All that I have to say about all this mess is that I'm just happy that it didn't happen 2 days prior, because 2 days prior I had gray clouds all over my head. And if you've ever suffered from depression, you know that your perception goes all bonkers. But all is good. You know, when there are gray clouds overhead, that means that sooner or later the sun will come out again. And no, I'm not going to break into an Annie song. And what I'm going to do is get into the news. Let me set this up for you very quickly. My goodness, the next door doors are really barking today. I hope you cannot hear them. Let us get started with this. It is not a good week for those who enjoy swimming in the ocean, as two different warnings are going on presently. The first one has to do with the presence of jellyfish at Los Muertos Beach, Camarones Beach, and in front of the Malecón. To that effect, authorities have raised the purple flag and recommend not swimming in the ocean. Now, that said, the flags may have been removed by the time you learn this news, but just be mindful of the flags. You don't want to get stung or bitten. The other warning has to do with a 911 call reporting the sight of a shark near Camarones Beach. Authorities monitored the beach yesterday, and the only thing they could spot was a bank of manta rays. So they raised a yellow flag instead, which means swim with precaution. I will take a swimming pool any day. And speaking of, check out this image. Wow, that's too many hotel rooms for me, but the swimming pool looks just fine. This is the Iberostar Hotel in Litibu, near Punta de Mita, where General Manager Daniel Linas reports that the resort is benefiting from the new Guadalajara highway and the ensuing increase in national tourism that is enjoying the destination and its amenities. I've never been inside of this hotel, but I've driven past the Litibu highway and it always looks beautiful from afar. I will say that I had to laugh when I read this news item because the first sentence in the paragraph said something along the lines of, rooms are equipped with a desk, a flat screen TV, and a private bathroom. And that is what I call really good news. Boom, boom. Anyhow, we have one more bit of news to share, and this is concerning news. This has to do with Lake Chapala, where we learned that Lake Chapala near Guadalajara is now at 40% of its usual water level, and this is the lowest it has been in the past 2 decades. Authorities fear that the ongoing temperature increase will intensify water evaporation in the coming months. Between January and April, the water level decreased by 50 centimeters, and it is anticipated that another 30 centimeters will be lost before the rain season begins sometime in the second half of June. I don't know if you've spent any time in Lake Chapala, but Ajijic is a beautiful town. I spent a few hours there. Didn't actually get a chance to see it, as it was a quick in and out with some friends, but I look forward to exploring the Lake Chapala region at some point. Let us turn over to the weather just to see what's going on out there. Oh, Potty Mouth is out. It says, surprise mother fracker. It's partly smurfing cloudy. That's what Carrot Weather has to say today. I'm not in the mood for big words just yet. So let's focus on the data. 26 degrees going on right now. Humidity is at 62%, and I'm not surprised. Our weather forecast for today says partly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 28 and a low of 17. Then Wednesday, tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 28 and a low of 18. And Thursday, we can expect a humid day with partly cloudy skies throughout the day, a high of 28 and a low of 17. Before I forget, and this is not a spoiler alert, I've been watching The Three Body Problem on Netflix. And, I read the first book. It's a 3-part series. And the first book was absolutely fascinating. And the series is very, very well put together. And last night, I've been trying to follow some friends' advice, and I'm watching 1 episode per night, although it's very tempting to watch more than 1 episode per night. If you're not into science fiction, I'll be done in 1 minute. Trust me. In the 3rd episode, one of the leading characters, who's a lady scientist, agrees to go with her boyfriend to spend a dinner at the boyfriend's parents' house. And the boyfriend warns her, just don't get too geeky with your science conversation at the dinner table, because you like your science. So the scene cuts to the dinner table where she's getting geeky and everybody's looking around and going like, what the fuck? So the boyfriend gently holds her hand under the table, and they give the opportunity to the boyfriend's father to speak. Now, the boyfriend's father character, I don't think we will see him again. It's a secondary character. But what totally blew my mind is that when it came time for the father to tell his story, the producers of this series could have chosen a completely ordinary actor, could have given him just ordinary words to say, and it could have filmed in the most ordinary way, but not here. This is a show that is being produced by the same people behind the Game of Thrones. So the 3 minute, it must be like 3 minute, the 3 minute monologue that this secondary actor gave was beautifully performed, beautifully written, and beautifully filmed. It was absolutely mesmerizing to watch this. So I hope I haven't ruined the series for you. Just know that one of the highlights for me so far in the series Three Body Problem has been that particular monologue. So if you have seen the series or you're watching and you want to comment on that, feel free to do so. Please don't comment anything that has happened after episode 3. And now we move on with the rest of our news. Just in case you didn't get the memo, today is April 30th. And since 1959, it is the date, yes and no, but it is a date in which Mexico commemorates children. Today is Children's Day in Mexico. The idea actually began in 1959 on November 20th. So I correct myself. The idea began when the United Nations General Assembly proposed the idea of honoring children around the world on a special day. And even though Children's Day is celebrated around the world on November 20th, different countries, including Mexico, have chosen to honor children on different dates. For example, in Mexico, Children's Day began actually on May 8 of 1916, but the date was changed to April 30 in 1924 by President Álvaro Obregón. So Mexico has been celebrating Children's Day on April 30th since 1924. What do you do about that? Well, if your children went to school today, they are probably going to be celebrated by the school. If your children didn't go to school or school decided to not have classes, then you give your children some love and special attention, maybe gifts, maybe take them out. There are a number of restaurants that I saw advertising special events for children today. So just say Happy Children's Day. And for all of us that live with a big child buried within, I wish you all a happy Children's Day as well. And I wanted to tell you of yet another amazing dinner at Oculto that I had with some friends this past Saturday. A dear friend of mine is leaving Puerto Vallarta after having spent a few months here. He will be back, but he decided to gather some close friends, and we all had a lovely, lovely farewell dinner. And, I've spoken about Oculto before, and I won't get tired of speaking about Oculto, and I hope you appreciate that, because Oculto provides the opportunity of having a personal, intimate, pampering Mexican dinner like no other restaurant in Puerto Vallarta. And I mean that. I mean, there are other restaurants that have huge, lofty reputations and whatnot. But at Oculto, I mean, there were less than 10 of us. And there was a chef, a sous chef, a bartender, and 2 other people looking after our every needs. So the ratio, show me a restaurant where you can have the most amazing 3-course dinner where you have that many people waiting on you at the same time. And the way Carmen and Claudia, along with their chef, elevate Mexican cuisine to a standard that you won't see in any other restaurants in town is amazing. All I can recommend is be mindful of Oculto's special events, be mindful of their cooking classes. But more importantly, one of these days, some of us like to pamper ourselves with mani-pedis or a spa day or a day pass. Just get as many as 15 of your favorite friends, but maybe keep it a little smaller, and go get a quote with Oculto, and go and have an amazing dinner. It really is a great opportunity to enjoy quality food, enjoy great conversation, and have a wonderful time. And what else do we have? I have one more. As part of yesterday's snafu, I had to reprogram the watch links for the spotlight tomorrow. So I'm going to be updating those. In fact, I'm going to create an entirely new event on Facebook just to make sure that you can find the broadcast tomorrow at 4 p.m. Again, the Spotlight is my new online talk show featuring local event organizers. I know that we have at least one organizer that will be joining us tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. And because not all of you want to hear, I'm sure, the details about yesterday glitch, let me get started with some of your comments. And after the comments and before we finish, I will get into yesterday. Let's see what we have here. David says, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, David. Good mornings and good afternoons all around. Thank you so much. See, I tell you, some of my sweet special friends are leaving. I mean, I can't believe it's happening again. This sense of well, not abandonment, that's too dramatic, but this is what happens when you make great friendships with people that leave, but we have things to look forward to. Dan and Kathy, you are amazing, and I am happy that you already have your return tickets in October. I look forward to that. Luisa blames the what the fuck parrot. Well, it could have been the what the fuck parrot, but it was, well, I'll tell you in a second. Let's see. Liz says, and all that jazz. Isn't today World Jazz Festival? I may have missed that, but thank you very much for that, Liz. I think I read something to that effect. People wanting details. And then, oh, Claude, I've been thinking about you guys. I have restarted the project. I'm making a special crochet project for Claude and Lucas. And I attempted to do it once, and then the measurements didn't work out, but I applied math, and I think it's going to be okay this time. Let's see. No. Logan says, so it looks like the rumors about the tiburon, the shark, were true. Calle Pulpito was all abuzz about this incident yesterday afternoon. I'll stick to my pool this summer. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Angelica comments on jellyfish being all over it because she saw them at Punta Perula. Well, it happens this time of year. So there you have it. And Vicky is on our side. Between all the various critters, undertows, and reports of questionable water quality, I vote with Logan. Pool it is. I totally applaud that decision. That's my mindset these days. Yay! Let's see what else. And let's see. Yes, Lake Chapala news is terrible. This is unfortunate. Thank you, Stan. I so appreciate that. I have run events and online presentations, including for a publicly traded company for their SEC reporting. Let's just say that tech glitches have shaved years off my life. I hope not yours. Well, again, if it had happened over the weekend when I was all depressed, it would have been really sad. But no, it's all good. It's all good. And I appreciate your understanding. You have no idea how much that means to me. Purim Pum. Kelly says, I ran into a longtime viewer of yours, Karen Gudgel from Portland. She was here just for a week, recognized me from your show. Chat says hello to you. Oh, that is sweet. That is sweet. Hello, Kelly. And hello, Karen. Thank you very much for remembering me. Much appreciated. And we're done with your comments. So here's a quick, and for those of you that have to go on with your day, have an amazing day. Here's my quick blow-by-blow on yesterday. First of all, I mixed up my configurations. Yesterday's presentation was supposed to be a private presentation because we are mindful of the fact that we play video clips from commercial recordings, and YouTube and Facebook don't like that. So the only reason I started doing music appreciation presentations online is because we have now the ability to do them privately. But what did I do? I pushed the wrong button, and I was broadcasting to the private destination, to YouTube and to Facebook at the same time. And that didn't even register in my mind because some of you were making reports that the volumes were not optimal and whatnot. And I appreciate so much when you let me know that things are not working out. But it's not an excuse. It's just for you to know. Sometimes when you're doing live broadcasts, it feels like when you're blasting a rocket out to outer space, because there are a few things you can control. But once that thing starts burning, you cannot control a lot of factors. That is not an excuse. That is simply a fact. So, and then the internet must have gone off while I was broadcasting because some people lost access to the show. It was either that, or maybe Facebook and YouTube started noticing that I was broadcasting copywritten or copyrighted. I forget. It was not music to be broadcasting publicly. So I believe YouTube finally shut me down. And when I saw that nobody was watching, I said to myself, Paco, don't get bummed out. Paco, don't get bummed out. I simply ended the presentation, but not before I realized that I was broadcasting to YouTube and Facebook. So I went, oh, fuck, they're going to cancel my channels. I was just terrified. And of course, I'm doing this while music is playing, and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? So long story short, all kinds of valuable lessons learned yesterday. I am grateful to friends like Mark and Lars and Luisa and a couple others that were trying to let me know that we can't hear. So I don't know if I was being muted by the software companies or what. So again, long story short, I decided to get the woes out of my system yesterday afternoon. And yesterday afternoon, I re-recorded all the narrative audio for the presentation. And I think moving forward, given the configuration that I have, I will not be doing these live. And let me explain that. I will premiere them live. I will join the live conversation on the very first presentation of each one of them so that I can be there and be present. But they will become on-demand presentations moving forward. What that will allow me to do is to make sure that before we get started, all the sound levels are optimal and the broadcast is in the best position to entertain and amuse you. And that is the end of it all. And I appreciate this comment from Charles. Charles says, I was confused as I was watching on YouTube. I thought it was supposed to be a paid event and I didn't pay. So I logged off. Well, no worries, Charles. If you're vaguely interested in music appreciation, you'll have a chance to watch great Mexican songs free of charge if you have at least purchased one coffee for Luna and myself. So again, give me a couple of days to reassemble this from scratch, and I will be presenting this free of charge for anybody that has ever bought a coffee or any member of the broadcast. Again, Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for giving me learning opportunities. And thank you for sticking around for this little bit of drama. And I mean the 38 of you that are still here. Now, it's time to get going. It's time to continue the day. I hope your day is absolutely amazing. Let your inner child blossom, and we will unleash the what the fuck parrot tomorrow. I'm seeing some what the fuck parrot requests. We'll do that tomorrow. But today, go and have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.